Monday morning it is. Yes, it is. I'm here to tell you. I'm here to confirm that for you.
It's Monday.
It's Monday.
And it's gloomy.
It is.
But what a weekend.
Man, right?
Oh.
Both days, 2 in a row. Count them, folks.
I was in the pool.
Were you?
It was freaking cold. I don't care if it was
so
cold.
Warm, though.
I was at my sister's cottage at Batchewana. The lake is lovely.
Is it?
Yes, I was able to swim and stay in the water.
Awesome.
The pool I could stay in for a little while.
For a little second.
Well, the pool was colder. But anyway, it was a beautiful weekend.
Gorgeous, gorgeous weekend. Just beautiful. And you know what? I hope you got to enjoy it.
Well,
because it's Monday. Did I mention? It's Monday.
Downtown yesterday was amazing.
Yeah?
Well, because they had the, was it Ride Don't Hide? Was that, I think it was this, yeah, Ride Don't Hide was yesterday for mental health, right?
Yes.
So all the bicycle teams were out, riding either 5, 10, 25, or 100 kilometers, whatever.
Oh, right, that
Remember the 100K ones were going like to Echo Bay or something, to the Looney and back with a police escort. Anyway, so downtown was all, you could see all the teams' t-shirts and stuff. I was down there for the Kids Summer Safety Festival at the Roberta Bondar Pavilion, and can I tell you, that probably had the record attendance of all the years that I've been hosting that event. It was great to see so many parents with all the little kids from strollers to teens going around to all the different stations, learning about summer safety from all the community partners, and then they stayed for all the giveaways and the prizes. Oh, it was so much fun.
And you emceed it?
Yeah, from noon till 3.
So who is there like one
Safe
host?
Communities Partnership is supported by the city and by funding, and so they are responsible. What Safe Communities does is they bring all the different agencies together about safety in our community from every age. So they'll work with, for instance, Algoma Public Health has the Sioux Rising Stars, which does senior safety, slips and trips and falls and all those things. So they'll work with them. They'll also work with the PUC for safety for wiring and all that kind of stuff.
Isn't that awesome?
They'll work with the MNR. They work with, I mean, everybody. Algoma Public Health for the children's programs, vaccination, food safety, all that stuff.
They cover it all.
And it's really one lady, it's Deanna Rector, who runs the whole lot. She's a one-woman show.
Wow.
So she puts this event together. She brings all these partners, finds all the sponsorship, gets her volunteers to put all the packages together with the prizes for the kids.
Isn't that phenomenal?
And it's a really cool event. The kids take a little passport and they go from station to station. And while they're at a station, they'll learn about food safety. They'll learn about from YGAP, Carly Smith's youth gambling, and about staying safe online. They'll go, the students from the John Rhodes Pool were there talking about pool safety, because all the civic pools will be opening up this week.
Yes.
So they were there talking about water safety, and they get their passport stamped, and then they drop it in a big bin, and then we draw prizes, and there's door prizes and bicycles.
Oh!
And this year, sometimes when they draw the prizes, you'll get a little 3-year-old winning a big bicycle.
Yes.
So this year, the police, for their part, because they always donate bicycles.
Right.
This year, the police introduced a new concept called Shop with a Cop. So normally they would buy 3 bicycles. Instead, we drew 3 names, and those 3 children will get picked up by a police officer in a cruiser.
No.
Either at school or at home or wherever, and they'll go shopping.
Awesome.
And they will choose a bicycle that's the right size, the right fit, get them all learn about safety and stuff.
That's
and
brilliant.
then they'll drive the kid on the bicycle home.
That is so cool.
Shop with a Cop.
Shop with a Cop. Can I come?
Isn't that the best?
Yeah, that's such a good idea. Man,
and they have a school bus there, so that, and if you have a little kid who's never been on a school bus, and they're going to go on a school bus for the first time in the fall, they get to learn about being on a school bus, and the school bus mascot is there from Student First.
That's terrific.
They get to tour a paramedic bus, and they get to tour the fire truck. There's a word.
You know what?
It's a great day.
It's a wonder that we survived without all this knowledge.
We didn't do any of that stuff when I was a kid. No.
Good Lord. I never saw a school bus.
I played near live wires all the time.
You are a live wire all the time. Hey, the BET Awards last night.
Black Entertainment, what? I don't even know what this is.
I'm not
funny.
Sure.
Television? No. I don't even know what it stands for.
Me neither.
We just assume. Anyway.
Awesome. Beyonce was one of the winners. Bruno Mars.
Were they there?
Nipsey Hussle, Cardi B.
Nipsey Hussle won in...
posthumously.
Yeah.
And Mary J. Blige received from Rihanna a Lifetime Achievement Award.
So well deserved. Mary J's been around.
And she looked phenomenal. She had this long, blonde, wavy hair. She looked awesome.
She's an amazing performer. Did she perform on the show?
I don't know if she did or not.
Because she's one I could watch.
She can kind of sing.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's okay. She could probably get through a song or two.
Speaking of female singers, BET Awards, Whitney Houston. Okay, interesting bit of trivia came from Kevin Costner that I did not know. The iconic poster of Kevin Costner carrying Whitney Houston with her face buried into his shoulder it was a picture that was taken from the scene where they're in a nightclub and a brawl breaks out and he has to run her out to protect her from this brawl in the nightclub. It wasn't Whitney. The poster for the film, The Bodyguard, 1992, that is not Whitney Houston.
No way.
It's one of her body doubles.
Stop it.
And they don't even know which one. Because they probably do, but it doesn't say which one. She had 3 body doubles. She had a body double for when they're setting up the camera shots and lighting.
Right.
They had a dance double. And they had a stunt double.
Holy
She had 3 doubles, and they didn't say which one that was.
Did she show up for work any day?
So, can you imagine though, Kevin Costner picked the photo, and he said, I chose it because it was a friend of mine did the photography that day on set, and it wasn't anything special, no special lenses, no special filters. He just caught that picture of me coming out carrying the body double.
And it's iconic now, isn't that interesting?
And he said, but the studio was like, how can we have the bodyguard and the 2 leads, and we don't show her face? And then they tried to Photoshop her face on.
Oh no.
He said they showed him a picture of Whitney Houston's face with turned, and it looked like The Exorcist, he said, because she had her head twisted backwards on her body.
That's silly.
So they went with that one, but I wonder what Whitney thought of that.
I wonder. You know what? I think it's effective because she looks so vulnerable. Like she just can't cope, right?
And he said, actually, the body double was actually terrified in that shot. Like he said she was acting, and it was like he remembers holding her, and that she was like, oh. So it was, she was doing a really good job. Whitney had gone home for the day.
To, do some coke or something.
I don't know if she was back then in 92, but anyway, she'd gone home for the day, so the body double makes the poster.
Imagine that.
If I were the body double, I'd like to know if that was me. I would be bragging about that.
Yeah, me too. I'd so brag about it. I hope she got good money for it.
Probably not.
You know what I mean?
I would
Probably
doubt it.
not.
No.
Some sad news in television. Dog the Bounty Hunter. His wife Beth is very sick. She has throat cancer.
Her cancer came back, right?
And she's now in Hawaii in an induced coma.
Oh, she's young.
Yeah, she's young.
Look at her there.
So
that's a great picture of the two of them.
And they are so close. If you watch their show at all, or even if you don't, I'm sure you know who they are. Such a close couple. They work together 24/7, and they love their children. And he's kind of rough and tough, and she is too. She's a broad. She's a broad in the best way. And they love their kids, and they do good things, and so he's asking for prayers for his lovely
It's funny
Beth.
you say broad in the best way.
Yeah.
I just think the word broad is a compliment.
I do too. Lots of people don't, though.
And I guess because in my family growing up, we had a few friends. My mother had some friends that were just good old broads.
Good old broads. Like Bea Arthur, right?
A broad.
She's a broad.
Yeah. I don't see that as. I think that is a real compliment.
I do too. I think it's a lovely thing.
Bea Arthur was often called, she's a handsome woman, and I remember saying that to a friend of mine once, and they said, that is not a compliment.
No, you feel like you're manly. You do.
It's kind of true.
Right? Yeah.
Did you, now I don't always hear what you're going to talk about in the news when you're going over your stories.
Right.
Are you doing anything about the Air Canada passenger?
Yes.
Okay, then I won't spill them. We can talk about it after.
You have to see
Wait to hear this news story. If you haven't heard it.
Unbelievable. This poor woman, I don't know.
We can talk about it after.
She's smart.
I don't want to. I know.
Right? I wouldn't have thought of doing. You have to watch the news.
Now we've got you hooked, right?
Yeah.
All right.
To watch for sure.
I think we're running out of time, so I better
Casey
introduce
Security too. We want to say a huge thank you to Casey Security.
They were there
for sponsoring the show. Where?
They were at the Kids Summer Safety Festival.
Awesome.
Casey Security. You know what?
Awesome.
I remember how they have on one of our radio stations in town. They have the summer driver.
Yes.
And that's now called the KC Security.
Oh, is that?
Summer
Kiss 100.5 Cruiser.
And 104.5 Country.
Yes.
And I met him, and he's a kid. Oh, darn it, Bryson. It's Stasiak is his last name, and he was in The King and I when he was a little boy.
No way.
He played one of the little princes in The King and I.
Awesome. So
and he came up to me, he was like, "Hi, remember me?" I'm like, "Oh my gosh, if I remembered his first name, I really would." Anyway, June is Brain Injury Awareness Month in Canada, and so we got 3 interviews. One with the survivor, one with a caregiver, and one with the ladies who actually run the brain injury awareness campaign here in Sault Ste. Marie, who run the office and work with the patient, the survivors. Anyway, offer family support. So we don't have room all on one show for all 3 of the interviews. So today we're going to air 2 of the interviews with the caregiver. Wait until this is a beautiful interview.
Awesome.
And then also with the people who are in charge of the office. So we're going to air that. And then tomorrow we're going to air part 3, which is our chat with the brain injury survivor. So it's Brain Injury Awareness Month. We hope you enjoy those. Plus the news with Luann. It's a full morning on Mornings with Luann and Tim on TV. We'll see you in a minute.
Welcome to the Machine Shop, our historic venue and gathering place for friends and family. Built in 1899 on the site of a Northwest Company trading post. Today we are a go-to venue hosting many expos, concerts, weddings, and more. While you're here, choose one of our dining experiences. Enjoy a quiet dinner at the Mill Steakhouse and Wine Bar, watch a game and try wood fire oven pizza and local draft at the Boiler Room, or treat yourself every day to gelato and local coffee at the Gelato Mill. For more information on the Machine Shop, visit machineshopinc.ca.
At 4:45, discover all kinds of treasures and never pay more than $5. Inventory is restocked every Saturday, and you can find anything from electronics to household items, toys, and much, much more. On Saturday, everything is $5 and the price goes down throughout the week, ending with 25 cents on Friday. We restock weekly with new items from various big box stores, so you never know what treasures you can find. Come visit us at 4:45, 2510 Ashman Street in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan.
Have a great business idea but don't know where to start? Need help taking your business to the next level? C2C Business Services can be your guide in navigating the path of entrepreneurship, with services ranging from grant funding support, access to service experts, market information, and helping your business adopt new technologies to create and foster a culture of innovation for ongoing success. Call C2C Business Services and let them be your first step in taking your entrepreneurial dreams from concept to commerce. C2C Business Services is a division of the Sault Ste. Marie Innovation Center.
So through the magic of television, see that? Sandy just appeared. Hi, Sandy.
Hi there. Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
So I told you that I met your son. I interviewed your son right in this very room.
Yes.
And also, I sat with your son at 100 Guys Who Care, and he told more of his story there. Tell me a little bit about your family, because this is a remarkable story. Sandy.
Well, we had 3 children at the time. We were overseas, and our daughter fell out of a window in our apartment about 32 feet. She was 4 years old. That was in 1977. And we came back to Toronto. We're from out west. And by the time we got back here, she had been in a coma for 12 weeks. Whoa. And they did brain surgery at Sick Kids. And when she finally kind of came out of the coma, she couldn't walk, she couldn't talk. She had to relearn everything. And
sorry, what age again?
She was 4.5. Okay. Yeah. And they actually suggested that we put her in an institution. This is a long time ago, right? Mm-hmm. So you have to remember that. And we just thought, no, we're not going to do that. She has a sister a bit older and a brother a bit younger, and she's in the middle, and they'll teach her what she needs to know. So just before they were going to send her home, one of the doctors sort of saw this little twinkle in her eye and thought, maybe we should send her to rehab. So they did. She went to a rehab hospital. And she did learn to walk with a little bit of a gait. Mm-hmm. She learned to talk, And by Christmas, this was in September, I remember looking at her and saying, Christine, could you just be quiet for a few minutes? And I realized what I'd said, and it was just amazing, amazing. And she did. She just did everything. She copied her brother and her sister, and yeah, it was
so
incredible.
it really did what you figured was going to happen actually came true.
Yeah.
Now, how is Christine today?
Well, that's another story. She's not with us today. And
I'm so sorry.
That's fine. She was only 4.5 when she had the accident, so, her development wasn't that far along. So she never, she definitely was developmentally delayed. A lot of physical problems. She had a lot of surgeries. There was a lot of injury when she fell. Her biggest thing was probably the seizure disorder.
Okay.
And that's actually how she passed away.
I understand.
She had a seizure and ended up in cardiac arrest. But she was with us for 29 years.
No kidding. Wow. So that was quite a journey, but it wasn't over. It was part one.
That was part one. And I remember thinking early on with Christine, and the words they used those days was handicapped, right? And it wasn't just that we had a handicapped child, we became a handicapped family. And she was young, so I basically threw her on my hip and away we went. We just kept doing things, and we ended up having 2 more boys, so now we have 5 kids.
Whoa.
And and 15 years after Christine's injury, Andrew, whom you have met, was hit by a car on his way home from school. Now, Andrew was 11, looked like he was 14.
He was walking his bike across. Was he walking his bike across the street?
Yeah, today that would be called distracted driving. They didn't have that then. But anyway, he was in a very severe coma for 2.5 months, a deep coma. And when he woke up, it was the same thing. He had to relearn everything all over again. In fact, it's kind of interesting. The brain, he woke up, he had been in French immersion, and he could speak French, but not English. So they got him French nurses. At the rehab hospital, they made sure he had a French.
And the really bizarre part of the story is that at Sick Kids Hospital, he ended up in the same hospital room as Christine had been in?
Yes, that's true. That's true. Same room, same corner, some of the same nurses. Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine, as a family, what do you do? I mean, is it just all about attitude?
Well, I think there's a little expression when tough things come in your life. I mean, this is tough for sure. You can either become bitter or you can become better. And we chose to become better.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Andrew is a going concern. I mean, he's hysterical. He's very, very funny. Yeah. He's super personable. What a sweetheart of a guy. Like, he's just a nice guy. He's so easy to talk to.
Yeah, he is. And I mean, he's had his struggles too, for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
And but he really cares about other people. And when Phil was talking, it just made me think Andrew he's in a wheelchair. You've met him.
Yes.
And it's really obvious that there are some issues. Mm-hmm. So when he asks for help or when he does stuff that maybe isn't quite appropriate or whatever, people kind of, let it pass. Or if he drops stuff, they quickly come and pick him up. Or when he flips over on Great Northern, as he's had done a couple of times, people stop and help him get up. But he said, Mom, my other friends, he calls them the walking wounded. He said they can do the same thing or have the same sort of last in judgment or get ticked off about something just like I do. And instead of people going, oh, well, that's okay, Andrew, they'll go, why did you say that? Because they don't understand that that person has a head injury.
Right.
And that's what's...
Because sometimes it's a filter thing. I know that, yes, something inappropriate might be said or a reaction that may not be something that we would anticipate, but that's all part of it. And as you say, the walking wounded Andrew, wow, okay. Yeah. So did you say there was a third?
Yes.
In your family?
Yes.
I didn't know about this.
Yeah, Andrew was injured in 92, and in 96, our oldest son was in a motorcycle accident. Someone pulled out of McDonald's right in front of him. So he thought, okay, I can hit the front door and flip over and land on my feet, or I can try to get around the car. So he chose the latter and didn't quite make it. interesting again, what Phil said, they were so concerned about his leg and that he might lose his leg that they didn't worry too much about the head. And that was my first introduction to sort of a minor brain injury. I understood totally what a severe brain injury was like, but the whole minor brain injury, he was in school, and well, he was out flat on his back for a while, but sort of the depression, the sleeping all the time, and I just thought, well, I'd be tired too if I had a cast from up here to my toes and my left foot almost was amputated. So those kinds of things. And then one day, one of his really good friends said, he said, you know, his personality's changed. He's not the same guy anymore. And I started going, oh, okay, click, click, click. And then as I, you know, started looking at things, he went to school to write some exams a few months after this happened, and he came back, he said, Mom, this is nuts. He said, I know all these formulas. He was in electronics. He said, I know all this stuff, and I did all the formulas backwards. And he said, I went to answer this question. I couldn't remember a single thing, and I know this stuff. I know this stuff. Like, he was really quite bright. So this, again, is part of a minor head injury that you may overlook or not see. Now, with my other two kids, you would know that right away. You'd recognize that as being a head injury. But for our son, like I said, minor, we just didn't see a lot of stuff. And he had some physical stuff too. He was injured in September, and just after Christmas, he was sitting at the table and we were talking about stuff, and all of a sudden he had this, like, I went, oh my gosh, he's just had a seizure. And our other two kids have seizures now. And I just said, has this happened before? And he said, yeah. And I said, when? And it was after they took him off the morphine from the original accident. But he hadn't wanted to say a thing to us because of all the stuff we'd been through. And he said, I didn't want to bother you and Dad.
We often hear that if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of other people. Now, so how did you as a family, you and your husband, manage to stay, first of all, even stay together? I mean, that can cause a lot of, it can really do a lot of damage to a marriage, to a relationship, when you've got that kind of stress.
It really, really can. When we had Christine, and I said this was how many years ago, 1977, they told us that the statistics were 85% of families separating. Often the mother just will throw herself into that child, which is kind of a natural response, and the husband kind of gets left behind. Then when we had Andrew, which was 15 years later, they said, number one, we don't have statistics for two children not in the same accident, and by that time it was 95%. So that was just astounding to us. I think we really concentrated on our own relationship, for sure. Like, we made that a priority. As much as sometimes you think you can do it yourself, and it sort of involved trusting other people to be with your kids so that you could go away. And that's really important, to take those date nights or go away for a weekend or something like that and just say, it's okay. You know, and I kind of in my mind would say, okay, you know, if my daughter has a seizure, they know where to take her. She's not going to die if I actually go away. And you just kind of had to self-talk almost, and that, and we had an incredibly supportive community. I know one lady, when our son had his accident, she just came to the house and she said, I'm doing your laundry. I said, what? She said, yep, I'm doing your laundry. And she did. For the next about 6-7 months, she would come in twice a week, pick up a basket of dirty laundry, and for me, this was really hard, giving her my laundry. In fact, the first time she came back, she said, you did not put any of your husband's underwear in my laundry. And I said, no, I didn't. And she said, it's okay, I know how to do men's underwear, you know, and so it's kind of letting go of some of your own, I don't know if it's pride or, you know, whatever.
Yeah, I guess and that's the way of looking at it, but...
Yeah, it really is, but...
you know what, it's allowing, giving up the control.
Oh, you know what? You're right, yeah. And when these things happen, I think that whole control... I'm a nurse background. Okay. But that whole control thing is, for me, I've had to realize that this is an area where I really have to let go. Because I think I could do it, and you know, maybe I can do it better than someone, but that's okay. And even when Andrew moved out of our home into his own apartment, Mom, they don't do the shower. And I said, Andrew, there's no perfect way to do a shower. You know, you're used to the way I do it, but, you know, there are other ways to take a shower. And there's that whole, for everybody, you know, you've got to be flexible and, you know, you watch out for things, but yeah.
Now, does Andrew have support? He lives independently?
It's amazing. He moved out about 4.5 years ago. You know Andrew.
Yeah.
Jim turned 65. That's it. We're going to die any minute now. He's retiring. I need to get out of my home. He said, I need to move before you guys die because I will never be able to grieve and move at the same time. So there's some thinking going on there, you know, besides all the laughing. Yeah. So he really pushed to get out, and he did. Amazing support system. The gals are wonderful. Now they've gotten to know who he is, and you know,
now, which gals are those?
This is with. He's in a building.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the people who assist.
Yeah. It's March.
Assisted living.
Actually. Assisted living. That's exactly what it is.
Right.
Yeah. So he has actually 3 different agencies that go in and help him. He's got the girls that come in the morning and shower him and feed him breakfast because he can't do that himself. And you know, he's got agendas everywhere, papers everywhere to tell him what he's doing because of the memory, short-term memory. So he gets himself, if there's a pair of us to catch, whatever. Then there's girls in the building who, if there's sort of an emergency, he calls them. And they also put him to bed at night and sometimes give him a meal at dinner time and his meds and that. Then there's the whole ABI component. And that's
What's that stand for?
Acquired brain injury.
Oh, right.
So he has rehab support workers and they are with him during the day. And it's just amazing. They assist him with so many cognitive things and then physically able to do things. But it's amazing. It doesn't take that independence away from him.
Right.
He is still very much a part of the process, and I think it's so important.
You're also, I mean, I'm just getting overwhelmed with inspiration here today. I know, and I know for you, it's just life. It's just what you've had to do.
Yeah.
But from the outside looking in, I gotta tell you, man, you're freaking amazing.
Well, thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing your story with us.
Thank you so much.
Now we're going to talk to, we're going to come back again, and we're going to talk to actually a couple of the ladies involved with the Brain Injury Association of Sault Ste. Marie. Okay. We'll be right back after this.
I won't let go. I won't let go.
Takes stopping and nothing, I'm up in your face, shaking it off, no matter the cost. I'm feeling the wind, I'm taking it all, I'm paving the way with the sweat and the blood. I'm at the top, rising above. I want the gold, give me the rush, Queen Midas. I got the touch. I'm pushing, I'm pushing, I'm pushing. I'm pushing, I'm pushing, I'm pushing. I'm pushing, I'm pushing, I'm pushing, I'm pushing, I'm pushing. I'm pushing, I'm pushing, I'm pushing.
Mios is Canadian through and through. And to celebrate Canada's birthday, Mios is offering 20 to 50% off all Canadian-made furniture. Mios knows supporting Canadian jobs, Canadian ideals, and Canadian designers is the right thing to do. And saving you 20 to 50% is a great way to celebrate Canada Day. Now, more than ever, is the time to buy Canadian and to support your local stores. Mios Furniture Fashions. Service before and after the sale. 261 Trunk Road. Where else, eh?
All right, so we got off to a rocky start in Canada. In 1497, John Cabot claimed Eastern Canada for England.
Jean Cabot.
Yeah. He thought he was in Asia. He was in Nova Scotia. You know.
Get a map, Jean. Like
Jean Cabot. So there you go. 1497. We still didn't know who the heck we were.
It must have been a Monday morning, right?
And then Mary. Remember the name Mary Pickford?
Yes.
Mary Pickford was from Canada, became a huge silent film actor.
Huge.
The first in 1916 signed $1 million contract in 1916.
And she was like before talkies.
But yeah,
right?
silent films. Mary Pickford from Canada.
That's crazy.
Wild.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
We have that Air Canada story that we want to tell you about coming up in our newscast, and there's lots of other local news. Really nice, busy, active weekend here in Sault Ste. Marie.
Cool.
So we hope you stay tuned for that newscast coming up right after this.
With over 45 years of experience, All Ontario Well Drilling offers hydrofracking and all well drilling services. Call 705-575-8088 or 705-257-9495.
At Maitland Ford Lincoln, we see our trucks everywhere. We see them on Queen Street, Lake Street, North Street, Bay Street, 2nd line, 3rd line, 4th line, Pine Street, Great Northern Peoples Road, Wellington, Cora Road, Bruce Street, Carmen's Way, Northern Ave, Trunk Road. Folks come from all over Algoma District and beyond to buy their truck at Maitland Ford Lincoln. Amazing prices, outstanding service. King Street, Shannon Road, Goulet Bay, Black Road, Government Road, and even on Pine Shores. Yep, our trucks are everywhere. Get yours at Maitland Ford Lincoln, built for Northern life, on Great Northern Road, just north of the hospital.
With 3 brands to choose from Kawasaki, Suzuki, and CF Moto, visit one of our 4 showrooms today and speak with our knowledgeable, friendly, and enthusiastic staff who will be happy to help you with all of your motorsports needs.
Enjoy life, enjoy the ride. Bud Robinson Motorsports.
Recently, the Government of Ontario established a $100 million affordability fund to help Ontarians who don't qualify for low-income conservation programs ease the burden of their electricity bill. Whether you rent or own your home, as long as you pay your electric bill, you could qualify. There are 3 levels of support available. The first is a home energy kit with upgrades like smart power bars and LED light bulbs. The second includes Energy Star appliances that help keep things cool during the hot summer months. The third is for electrically heated homes so that your power bills don't break the bank during those long Canadian winters. Plus, all upgrades, including installation, are completely free of charge. Visit affordabilityfund.org or call 1-855-494-FUND to find out if you qualify.
Approximately 152 people rolled out of bed early yesterday morning to participate in the first annual DU 283 Duathlon at the Machine Shop. This 283-kilometer run event along the waterfront was to raise money for local children's mental health efforts. ONNtv was up early too.
Yeah, this has been a long planning process for myself, the team at Algoma Family Services Foundation, and RAM Fitness and Cycling. We've come together about a year ago and started really putting this together, and we went through the process to get the streets closed and make it the very first ever Ontario sanctioned duathlon in the history of our city. So we're incredibly proud of this achievement, and every single dollar raised is going to support local kids who struggle with mental health issues.
Well, mental health is definitely an issue that is becoming bigger and more pressing. See it a lot at university, and there's untreated issues of people going to university, and they're definitely struggling there. So if you can help identify those earlier, it's definitely a good thing.
The reason I'm here for this is because running is a big hobby to mine. I just love running, and you know what? It's healthy. It keeps you active. It's good for your brain. It's good for your body. It's good for everything. And the reason why I'm here is because this is an event that Sunny Spina supported, and I love having events with Sunny Spina.
We never set a goal on raising dollars. We set a goal in engagement. We really had a goal to engage as many kids as possible through this whole process. We've been running duathlons since May 16th. We've started running them here in town at local schools, and our main goal, our main focus has been to engage as many kids as we possibly could. And now for this event, our goal is to engage the community and get our community to start that conversation and start having some of those, difficult conversations about mental health.
The Sault Ste. Marie Francophone Centre took over the Roberta Bondar Pavilion for Saint Jean-Baptiste Day on Saturday. Celebrated on June 24th of each year, the day celebrates Saint Jean-Baptiste, who is credited with baptizing Jesus in the Jordan River. For the hour-long event, Céleste Lévy, a Franco-Ontarian singer who performed for The Voice Quebec, was the featured artist for the evening.
All day we had activities, bouncy castle, barbecue, ice cream, face painting, music, live artists were performing this afternoon. And tonight we are having Céleste Lévy, which is a Franco-Ontarian artist born and raised in Timmins. She also did La Voix Québec. Yeah, she's performing for us tonight. So Saint Jean-Baptiste is actually an annual festival to celebrate the French culture. So it's just, show how proud you are and just have, activities together so we can have fun and share our culture with others. So Saint Jean-Baptiste is not only for French people, it's for anybody. Anybody that's interested to come in, join the fun, learn, we're open to everyone. Actually, I've been with the Francophone Centre for 3-4 years now, and I've seen in those 4 years, I've seen a very big difference. Every year we get more and more people, and we just get all together. Like today, the Saint Jean-Baptiste was organized by the Francophone Centre, but we had French organization that helped us out all day today. We had the two French schools, so École Notre-Dame, at Sault, and then École des Rapides, and then we had les Chevaliers de Colomb, and we also had SAFA that gave us a big help tonight. Donc j'aimerais souhaiter une bonne Saint-Jean-Baptiste à tout le monde. Je voudrais remercier tout le monde qui sont venus ici aujourd'hui. Et puis je vous invite à communiquer avec le Centre francophone de Sault Ste. Marie pour des idées, des suggestions ou pour devenir bénévole puis nous donner un coup de main.
Toronto was abuzz yesterday as the country's largest Pride Parade took over the downtown core. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau was among the many politicians who took part in the annual march.
It's just a wonderful privilege to be again walking in Pride here in Toronto, Canada's largest Pride Parade, as Prime Minister. I think it's important, not just for everyone who's out here today celebrating, for people who are at home, young people especially who are still worried about coming out, still worried about their communities. The country takes to the streets across Pride Month and at Pride events to support our friends in the LGBT communities, that we are all allies, continues to be an important message here in Canada and of course around the world, ever more so.
My son came out about 10 years ago. He was very hesitant. He didn't know how I'd react because I come from a very conservative family myself, and but I was very open to it. I accepted him for who he was, for the person he is.
Those who will stop at nothing to bring us down, we know that when they come at us, you are with us, and that is all that matters. I can proudly stand here today and say, promises made, promises kept.
Ontario Premier Doug Ford touted his government's accomplishments and slammed his Liberal predecessors in a campaign-style speech at Ford Fest on Saturday, joined by several ministers.
Are you better off today? You know, for a parent, I've spoken to parents today who have children who are excited about the CARE tax credit, the fact that we're going to put $6,000 in a parent's pocket for every child up to 18 on average. This is what matters. Lower taxes, money in your pockets, affordable energy bills, limiting the cap and trade carbon tax on the Liberals. When we do these things and we are undeterred from our mission and we stay focused as legislators, the benchmark of success is delivery. And we're delivering on our mandate. We've done it quickly, but I recognize, to be frank with you, there's a lot more to do, and that's why I'm here, but that's why I also spent my whole day working hard in my new capacities as Minister of Education.
When you support the Restore, it helps Habitat for Humanity build affordable housing for families. How does this work? New and gently used goods are donated to the Restore. The sale of these goods generate funds for building homes. For every $1 spent at the Restore, there is a $4 return on investment within our community. For example, Habitat homeowners have better educational outlook, increased employment stability, improved health, and reduction in the use of social services. Every donation and every dollar we receive through the Restore helps build sustainable housing for future homeowners. Everyone needs a foundation to build a future. To find out more and how you can help, drop by the Restore at 32 White Oak Drive or go to habitatsioux.ca.
And did you catch that story about that poor woman on the Air Canada flight?
What would you do?
Like, how did that happen?
What kind of a cabin crew?
The crew left? Like,
they've got to be in trouble. I mean,
I would think somebody's in trouble.
They just keep saying Air Canada's investigating.
Yeah, well, what else are they going to say,
How long does it take to investigate to find out who locked up that plane? And
so she wakes up and she's in the pitch black, she said. Freezing.
No heat, of course.
And of course, she starts to call people and then her phone dies. She can't charge the phone because the plane's off.
Like, come on.
And then she goes up to the cabin and finds a flashlight and she's waving the flash.
She tried the thing.
Yeah, the walkie-talkie.
But now with that, do you think that was like in the... Was she trying the walkie-talkie that they talked to the people with, or...
No, it sounds like...
Was she in the cockpit?
It sounds like she had like walkie-talkies.
Don't they lock the cockpit?
I don't know, yeah, right?
And then she opens the freaking door and the plane and calls for crew.
Yeah, she's screaming at the ground crew. Oh my, they must have been like, what? And I was thinking, as I was reading the story initially, I was thinking, she didn't jump. Because that's a long way,
and
honey.
how much do you want to bet? I'll bet you. The end result of this will be she'll get a credit for $80 on a future trip with Air Canada.
They offered her a limo and a hotel.
Are you
They did. They offered her that and she refused. She said, no, thank you very much.
Sue?
I would so sue.
Sue.
Mental duress. Like, can you imagine?
Oh my gosh.
Like, I wouldn't have maybe thought to open the door. I would have assumed it was locked. Maybe I would have checked.
I would have started banging.
Yeah, right?
I don't know what. I would have cried for sure.
Oh, she said, I started to panic and she said, I just thought, you know. So she unbolted the door and thankfully it opened up.
Nobody rescued her. She had to rescue herself. Hey, speaking of rescue, this was the one. Remember this? The 1 year anniversary of the 12 boys from Thailand and southern Thailand.
Oh my gosh, a year?
With their soccer coach, and they went down into the cave and got stuck because the water came in. Remember that story?
Yes.
It's the 1-year anniversary of their rescue.
Wow.
Yes, so they all went on an excursion. They went spelunking. Just kidding. That's cave diving. And they didn't do that. Just something.
No more caves for them.
No.
No, they decided, no.
It's so crazy to think that we sat here a year ago and you kept giving us updates.
Yeah. Boy, that was a scary time. They were down there for a long time.
Boy, we've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah, we sure have.
Oh my goodness. Oh, so we have more of the brain injury.
Yes.
Okay, so that was the story of could you believe the story of that mother?
Oh my word, 2 kids.
What a woman.
Oh.
And so now we talk to the people from the Brain Injury Awareness Association. So that's coming up on Mornings with Luann and Tim right after this. Stay with us.
As a nation, Canada has participated in all of the major world conflicts. In the Sault area alone, over 10,000 men and women have enlisted in the Canadian Armed Forces. The Veterans Commemorative Monument aims to cement the legacy of the Canadian Armed Forces in stone. It will highlight the bravery, strength, courage, and sacrifice of our servicemen and women. In times of need, they volunteered to serve us. Now it is our time to thank and recognize their sacrifice. You can help honor our men and women of service by donating today. To help construct this special, one-of-a-kind monument, visit thosewhoserve.ca to find out how to donate and more.
Since 1899, the Machine Shop has been a unique space for innovation and creativity. Once a leading pulp and paper company, the Machine Shop was built by Francis H. Clerg, which later became part of St. Mary's Paper in 1984. After the closure of St. Mary's Paper in 2011, the Machine Shop spent 4 years vacant. In 2015, the Machine Shop reopened their doors to the community for the first time. From weddings to galas to concerts and festivals, the one-of-a-kind venue has something for everyone. We are proud to work with the community and local nonprofits to host major events such as Festival of Trees, Pearls and Plaid, an evening at Hogwarts, and more. While you're here, wind down at the Mill Steakhouse and Wine Bar for a quiet dining experience, or watch a game and try a wood fire oven pizza and local draft at the Boiler Room. Don't forget to save room for house-made gelato and baked goods at the Gelato Mill. For more information on the Machine Shop events, history, and restaurants, visit machineshopinc.ca. 3 great places, 1 historic venue.
We are continuing on with this conversation about Brain Injury Awareness Month, the month of June. Joining me now is Christy and Stacy from Stride Rehabilitation Services, but you're also on the board of Brain Injury Association of Sault Ste. Marie.
Yes, yes.
I'll say it for you. Okay, so Stacy, what do you do on the board? What's your role?
We meet once a month and we kind of brainstorm different things going on
brainstorm
in the community. Right? Yeah.
That's good.
You know, Chantal gives us wonderful updates on the peer support program and the mentor program.
But you work hands-on too, don't you?
I do. I work with actually Andrew,
Sandy's son Andrew.
Through Stride. I've been with him for I believe 9 years now.
Are you kidding me? Mm-hmm. Whoa! What kind of progress have you seen in 9 years in Andrew?
He's amazing. He is a guy that went from being in a wheelchair and his goal was to walk. And for the longest time, everybody would tell me that there was always a ceiling with brain injury where you plateau and you can't move forward. And he's like, how many years past his initial injury, like 20-something years, right? And we were able to get him to a spot where he was walking around in a pool, unattended.
That must have been incredible for him.
Amazing. It was amazing. I was bawling because it was just amazing to me that he was able to do that 20 years past injury. You know, the brain is a magnificent thing.
Hey, Sandy wanted us to share. Can you actually share that? Sandy wanted us to let the audience know that Andrew loves to tell his story. So
He does.
for
Andrew,
like public service groups, classrooms, lectures, that kind of thing.
he's that guy that likes to raise awareness about brain injury specifically, and likes to help people. So he decided when he did come to the Soo, he had done this in Toronto, but he decided when he came to the Soo that he wanted to help kids and do a bike safety talk, because his injury was from being struck by a car because he forgot his helmet in his locker at school, and he was walking his bike across the crosswalk. Yeah, and it was the one and only time he's ever forgotten his helmet.
I know he tells that part of the story. Yeah.
About it, and it was such a sad thing that would have happened. But at the same time, he's so humble about it, and just his goal is to just help people and raise that awareness. So we go around Sault Ste. Marie and we hit up all of the elementary schools, and I help him do these talks.
If there's somebody who might want to have Andrew come and do a talk, would they reach you? Can they reach you through the Brain Injury Association? Or through Stride?
Through Stride.
And then they could talk to you and say, hey, would Andrew like to come to our classroom or whatever?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so Stride, we can find out information. Hi, Christy, what's the contact info for Stride?
Hi. So we have our website. It's www.striderehab.ca, and on there you'll see a list of the different roles the roles that we play as an RSW, and just all of the opportunities that are available.
I want to. There's a lot of organizations in town that do amazing work that are just not funded as much as they need to be. I know that there are a lot of places where it's 75% funded and they have to make up the balance by fundraising and stuff. I know that the Brain Injury Association of Sault Ste. Marie struggles because they don't have an office in Sault Ste. Marie. Chantel works out of her home, uses her own resources. We use, as we talked about, the boardroom here from NorPro is generously donated. So a lot of the stuff that happens in the community, a lot of the resources that we need require money, and to get that, you have to do fundraising.
That's right.
So you have an event coming up?
I do. Thank you, Tim, for giving this opportunity. So just to give a bit of a history, so I moved up to Blind River from London, Ontario, and I quickly joined the board of directors with the Brain Injury Association of Sault Ste. Marie. One of the things that I noticed so quickly is the lack of services up this way. I would have calls from families calling the office and saying that they were having to turn down care for their child because they didn't have the resources, the funds available to travel to Toronto or to London, because it's those front-loaded costs that we don't take into account. There are some government grants that we may or may not be granted, but anyways. I spoke to the board of directors for the Habit program in London, and I asked whether we could bring this program up to the north, and it was quickly accepted.
Well, just tell me what Habit stands for.
So Habit stands for Helping Acquired Brain Injury Treatment. This program will provide funds to children and their families that don't fall under any insurance funding.
Wow.
So
Okay.
children that have had concussions, whether that be from sports injuries or bike accidents, can come from any number of reasons, right? And you just never know. So that's the idea.
Okay, so we're going to be doing a fundraiser up here, is that right?
We are. This community has been amazing.
You're golfing?
We're golfing.
Yay!
Yeah, so we have a golf tournament coming up in Sault Ste. Marie at the Golf and Country Club, or the Golf Club, on June 26th.
The Queen Street Club?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a nice course, 18 holes.
It is. It's lovely. So I'd like to thank our major sponsors. So Oatley Bigman, McLeish Orlando, and Stride Rehab. Without these major sponsors, this tournament wouldn't have been a go. And I can tell you, just in the last month or so, as word is getting out, the number of community members and just so many different people are coming forward with as being whole sponsors and dinner sponsors and all kinds of things. So we're still looking for more sponsors, because the more the better, obviously, for our community and the families up this way. But we're also looking for more golfers.
What would a sponsor do? Is it funds that they're donating, or is it in kind too, or what?
Yeah, so this this program is all based on fundraising efforts. So so any money that comes in through these sponsorships, it goes directly to the northern communities.
Okay. And the money stays in the north.
The money stays in the north. Yeah.
And so the golf tournament is on the 26th.
26th of June. At the Sault Ste. Marie Golf Club. It's going to be a great day.
Hey, door prizes, silent auction, night prizes for teams.
That's right.
Are you still looking for prizes too?
We are still looking for prizes as well.
So could somebody maybe be a sponsor and say, we're going to give you like $500 worth of prizes?
Absolutely.
Okay. Do that. Somebody out there watching, do that.
Thanks, Tim.
Do you have people registered already?
We do. We've had several. We've got many registrations, but again, the more the better. So if you're open to golfing or can spread the word, we're looking for volunteers as well.
Oh, are you? Okay.
We are.
So and what if I'm one person and I don't have any friends? Will you put me in a foursome?
Absolutely.
Okay, so I'm going to pay $125 and then you're going to join me up?
That's right.
And if I have 3 friends, $475, we can be a foursome?
You sure can.
Okay, I can do that. And then, is there a meal?
There is a meal as well. Yeah, there are 2 meals.
At that new Irish pub place?
Oh, actually, do you know what? That item just changed. Yes, but let me tell you what we've got.
Is it good news?
It is good news. So we've got slow roasted chicken and barbecue and steak. And Atlantic salmon. So the options are pretty good. Yeah, they're going to be great.
I'll come just for the dinner.
There you go.
Okay, so how do we do this? Where do we go?
Yeah, so you can go onto the website.
Again, it's?
Yeah, so the Habit website is habitbraininjury.ca. And then within that, there will be a registration page on there.
I'm going to take this stuff with me. When we go back to the studio, we'll put this up on the screen underneath so people can see the address and stuff.
That would be great.
I'm good that way.
Thanks, Tim. You are great. That's awesome.
Okay, so golf tournament, June the 26th. We're raising money for Habit, which stands for Helping Acquired Brain Injury Treatment.
That's right.
Thanks for all you do in the community, and you too. Thanks. My board members and Stride people, and what an inspiring show this has been. All right, everybody, brain injury awareness. Take care of your noggin. All right? Listen to what Andrew says about wear your helmet when you cycle. Listen to what all the people tell you about sports injuries. Don't take anything for granted. If you bump your head, go get it checked out, right?
Absolutely.
Anything else I missed?
I don't think so.
Okay, I'm on it. Mornings with Luann and Tim will be back right after this. It's June, and it's Brain Injury Awareness Month.
What do you wish for? A nice life? Nice things? Or do you wish for something more? A sense of purpose? Do you wish to discover a cure? To write code that cracks an unsolvable question? To further our exploration into space? Or to invent something that changes everything right here on Earth? Well, if that's your wish, make yourself ready. Because when you look back, you'll see that you didn't just make wishes, you realized them.
So please join us again tomorrow for the 3rd and final installment of Brain Injury Awareness.
So much good information.
Really, definitely. We talk to a survivor of brain injury tomorrow. And also, I want to thank KC Security for sponsoring us. As Luann mentioned earlier in the show, they are our sponsor for this month. And as I mentioned, I saw them out and about this weekend, as we do all over Sault Ste. Marie during the summer.
Yes, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
And if you need a hand, just give them a call.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for watching. Hope you have a great day. See you tomorrow.
Thank you.